recap what we did in the previous example. I have view 1. I added a button, go to view 5. In view1.m file, in go to view 1, go to view 5 on click. I did the same old thing, check if the view is null. If it's null, make another instance of it and do the transition effect. And it'll go over to the next view, right? But one example though, see over here I did not do init with nib or anything, just init. Look at the difference. Go to, you see right here I did the init with nib name bundle nil, but here I am not doing that because I'm gonna not load it from the nib file. So if I look at view5.m, you see that I have overloaded the init function, and I have, I'm calling this super init, and then creating the buttons, pulling the strings from the resource, and setting the the target, the title, and so on and so forth. And there should be, see the on click right here. There should be, say, go to view 5. Actually it should say go to view 1 on click, right? Because we'll be going back to view 1, so I may have confused you a little bit, but it should be 1. And if I want to fix that, how would I do that? I have to fix it here, here, and there. Now what if you've seen the disadvantage here is that, well, when you create the button, we didn't know exactly where the button would appear. See, it appears right over here. It's too wide. So how would I know? It'll be a little bit difficult to lay out the view, where the label would be, where the text box would be, where the button would be, how wide it would be. It's very nice to create it in the UI designer with drag and drop. So is there a way to use the drag and drop, use the GUI designer, but also use some technique where the labels can be changed automatically? Just have one nib file. If you could have one nib file, design it with user interface, and change the labels at runtime. Now that's the technique I want to look at next. So this has gotten pretty ugly. I am going to create another view, view 6, and I'm going to make that the initial view. So we'll go through that process. So now come to my project. I'm going to say add new file, Objective-C class, yep, and I want to add a view 6. It is going to be a subclass of UI view controller with nib file for user interface. Yes, I want that. Now we're going to see if it'll create 2 or 1. We are supporting 2 languages. Well, it did only 1. Okay, so far good, that's fine. So I'm going to put a label here. I am going to put a round rectangle text field. I'm going to make this wider. I'm going to set some properties to make it right aligned. Right here. It's going to be right aligned. Label. Well, let's look at the string name. Okay, we'll use that one. So we'll be using, let's change this one. We're gonna call it name. Here's a button. It's gonna be BT and save. Now the technique we are going to do, I want to show you is that we're gonna use the drag and drop designer and everything. The labels I'm gonna put at runtime. So right in here I need button save label, and it'll say, you know, save. And this will be in Spanish. This to show up as soon as I fire up the program. So I'm going to go to app delegate H and look in it and say, yeah, you see I'm going to have to say at class view 6, right? Yep, there's a class. We've been through this before. And then right here import view 6, and I think I'm going to change this to view 6. Yeah, no need for that. Also synthesize view 6. Now I should be able to say okay, so I need to go back in here and okay, now the view is going away. Problems are going away. I'm gonna say view 1. Wherever it said view 1, I'm gonna say view 6, view 6, view 6. Now if I run this, I'm hoping I would be able to see view 6 as the application launches. One more. This should be view 6 as well. And there we have. we are seeing it. Now the next step is change the name and the label at runtime and switch it, pull it from the string file. Now what we want to do is do a number of things. First of all, in the nib file, I want to create an IB outlet for the text box, for the label, as well as for the button, and also the on-click event for the button. So let's do that. I am going to click here, assistant editor, I'm the right one, click here, new referencing outlet, name label, for the text box, name text box, save button, and for the button also I want a touch up inside. So far everything is just as with a GUI designer. Now in view 6 I'm going to find an appropriate function where I can pull the labels and change them. And as you know that I'm going to have to synthesize. Next step is to synthesize. What am I going to synthesize? Name label, name text box, save button. So I have all three of them. Let's try view did load. If that is the correct function, let's see if it behaves properly. Okay, let me get rid of these right here so I can see them. I need one for the label, one for the text box, one for the save button. So what do we have? Name label, right? Star name label. Now that may cause a discrepancy because I have the name label up there and the name label they are a bit different. Name label string, name text box string. I'm going to start copying and pasting. Now what it is, what's the name of that was? I think it was name. I really don't need for the text box, I don't need a string. You know, text box is what the user enters. I need strings for the label and the button. Yeah, I need it here to access it, but I don't need it to change the text of the text box. So yeah, that's fine, but over here I just need that. And I think that was button save. Yeah, that should be spelled exactly right. BDN name and BDN save. Name and BDN save. Now over here what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the name label, set text to this one, and then I'm going to take the save button set its title. I think it's the title. Save button string UI straight. I think that's what it is, and let's give it a try. Okay, so my language is still there. It says Spanish name. Does it do that? Name. Yeah, I should probably, change that to yes. Seems to be working. Yeah, see name, yes. I'm gonna switch my language back to English. It's gonna crash. We've been seeing that. I don't know what that is. Stop it. Run it again. I'm hoping to see my labels without that ES. There you go. Now I have name and save instead of the ES one. So the labels have been pulled from the correct string file. So I'm using the designer, but I have a little trick up my sleeve to change the labels without having to maintain separate multiple nib files for each language. One nib file, but multiple string files translated, and as user switches the language, it automatically changes, and I have the benefit of using the drag and drop. There you have it, the benefit of both. The best of all, maybe, if you, I don't know what you think of this. We are using the designer, you know but we are also maintaining only one nib file as opposed to multiple nib files, as the book says. But we don't have to mess around with that programmatically. We don't know in programmatically where the label is. It becomes very difficult to design. You have to try, over and over again to position things the right way. The drag and drop is easy, but also multilingual. So killing two birds with one stone. I don't think I've seen this technique in any book or any article before. Hope it helps.